So hello, Stephanie. How's it going today?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you spending some time hopping on here, giving your opinion about replace your mortgage and kind of how you got started with them.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I can tell you that I'm somebody that I kind of put a wish or put a thought out in the universe, and I just kind of wait for the sign to happen. And so, what started that process is I've got a 14-year-old son, started freshman year in high school,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, "Oh my gosh, I have 4 summers left with my son, and then he's off to college.
Mm-hmm.
What a great opportunity to think about what would we do after. And I'm based in Wisconsin, and we have really cold winters, and I would love to get someplace warm. So I said to myself, wouldn't it be great if I didn't have such a large mortgage to worry about? That is my only reason for working, is just to pay off my mortgage, because everything else is, I'm completely debt free
Nice.
except for a car. So I said, but how great would it be to have like a big chunk of cash to decide to pick up and go anywhere I wanted to? Because my boyfriend, his kids are already grown and out of the house, and so my son will be gone, and so we'll be empty nesters and be able to make our decisions. So I just sort of threw that thought out to the universe, and then 2 days later, it's on YouTube, saw Mr. Michael,
Yep.
and clicked the ad and went through the process. And I just said, okay, because normally I would have just ignored those type of ads
Mm-hmm.
on there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
The company I work for, we have our social media on YouTube as well, and so I was uploading videos, and I was like, okay, nope, I can't ignore the sign, so here we go. So I clicked on it, clicked all the way through, and it was that moment I just said, you know what, let's just do this consultation and walk through the process. And I scheduled it for a Sunday, just like I'm scheduling a meeting with you today.
Yep.
And it was only supposed to be like I think a 45-minute discovery call, which ended up turning into over an hour, just
Mm-hmm.
because I was asking so many questions in the right way,
Yeah.
because it was filtering down to how it makes sense for my personal life. And it was right then and there. I just said, I've never felt so right
Mm-hmm.
about making a decision, even though the purchase I know was an investment in my world,
Mm-hmm.
was to refinance for a mortgage. The closing costs would be higher than what the cost of being a member was.
Yep.
So for me, it was a super easy decision.
Yeah.
So
Typically, it's a no-brainer. Like, especially when you see the math behind it, and you're like, all right, these are numbers, right? This is money in, money out. Like this is, it's just math, right? And Michael says it best, like if there's no magic behind it. Um, and when we go through and we do the discovery call, we run the numbers. If it works for the individual. If it doesn't, we let them
right.
know and then obviously give them some homework if there's something that they need to improve upon. But what did your payoff end up being? Like what were you with your mortgage? How many years did you have left? And then what did your payoff, end up coming to?
Well, interesting enough is that I had just refinanced about 6 months before.
Mm,
So I was at 29 and a half years left to pay.
mm-hmm.
And when I did the numbers, I did it based on my own salary, but I didn't even think to put savings in there, to change my tax deduction so that
Mm-hmm.
was coming into my paycheck. After I watched all 22 video, I think it was 22, and I binge watched them all within like 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Took the half a day off. I literally was this committed. I took a half a day.
Nice.
I binge watched every video in order to make my decisions and the banking. But when I was doing it by myself, it was, I'm trying to think now, I think it was 26 months, I
Nice.
think is what it came out to be, versus 29 and a half years. And then, of course, I'm not married, but I was telling my boyfriend about this. And he says, well, how can we accelerate this? And I said, well, any savings you want to accumulate and put in there just for a window of time,
Yep.
definitely benefit. And so when we reran the numbers, I look at the calculator probably every 2 days
Yep.
just to see
You get addicted to it.
payoff is.
Yep.
It's so exciting to see. And so right now I'm at 17 months
That is amazing.
to pay off my entire mortgage, which would then be, and this is also to roll in
Mm-hmm.
my vehicle and his vehicle because why not?
Yeah.
And it still came out to be about 17 months. And I'm just,
That might be a record. That might be a record.
I am in awe.
Yeah, I think our record is 2 years. But so if you can get that thing paid off faster than 2 years, that might be a record for us.
Oh, wow. Well, what's
That's
interesting
awesome.
is that when I was talking to the, during my discovery call, I had said, okay, you know, I'm committed, let's do this. And so I worked with the banks and I was able to close in 15 days.
That's amazing.
From the day I signed up with Replace Your Mortgage to the time my mortgage was paid off and I got the HELOC open, it was 15 days.
Nice.
And the banker, I said, so is this normal? Because I'm reading in the Facebook group that some people are like, I'm still at 45 days or I'm in my 2-month time frame.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I know everybody's story and journey is different.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's watching this video, the only thing that I can share with you to get it done fast is when they ask you for something, give it to them within hours.
Yep.
Within hours. And that will move the process along much faster.
And we tell people, you know, on a discovery call, you know, on average, it's about 30 to 45 days.
Right.
But we say, like, you know, from the time you get started with us, from the time you refinance, the average is about 30 to 45 days. But myself, I was the same way you were. Like, I literally got the whole process done in 3 weeks. And
fantastic.
yeah, it was because I had my documents ready. And every time, you know, my guy asked for the documents, I sent them over. And then, you know, Replace Your Mortgage gives you a documents list along with the bank list and contacts. You have that information ready, you know, you can speed this process up, right?
Absolutely. And because I had just refinanced a few months before, I kind of already had everything put together. It was just, you know, the most recent pay stubs and things like that. But everything was smooth. And then when I talked to the loan officer, he had been working with Replace Your Mortgage for many years. So extremely familiar with the process. And so it's literally just whatever Replace Your Mortgage says, do. Don't take steps. Don't try to wing it. Don't try to think you can outsmart it. Just follow the exact steps, because I can tell you that's how I was able to close in 15 days. And I've literally only had my HELOC for a month.
That's awesome.
I am already seeing some major changes. We haven't quite rolled in the cars yet because it's only been a month, but I'm so excited to see this thing happen in 17 months because you asked about what could potentially be our next steps. We're talking about finding a vacation rental lake house.
Nice.
We can invest in. And so that's my ultimate dream, is to have a lake house that could also earn us money. That would be awesome.
And you'll get there too, because that was one of the major like motivators for my wife and I when we would always go on vacation, and we're like, we are tired of being the ones renting all the time. Like, what do we got to do to own one of these properties to make money off this? And, you know, here we are 3 years later, and we now have seven rental properties, 2 of them being vacation homes. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So one's in Mexico, Isla Mujeres, Mexico. We actually did an HGTV. We were on HGTV not too long ago. It was interesting for Mexico life. That was pretty neat. And then my wife and I just closed on another vacation condo in the state of Delaware, Bethany Beach. And, you know, it's the one in Bethany is already, you know, showing profits, and we've only been in it maybe a month and a half. So you'll get there, right? It is, you literally, I know you just started, but you keep following what Replace Your Mortgage has to offer. You keep, you know, watching the additional education, you know, network with people, build relationships. There's all kinds of investors in the group that are amazing. You know, and that's really all I did. And I just, you know, follow what they teach. And if you follow what they teach, it works.
That's fantastic. And that is actually something that we've talked about is I did have a single family rental it was my starter home, which then I moved out, and I was able to rent that out for about 7 years. And it was great, but I literally just sold it last year just because it was just great timing, and cut the ties with the old chapters and starting the new chapters. But I would love to be able to invest in multiplexes and some other rental properties at the same time, you know, buy a lake home or, you know, a vacation home. So that is definitely something in the works. And I got to tell you, when I started this process, I was just thinking, you know, very singularly with myself and family. But then as I think about this even more, how much more impact can we have on other people's lives? Meaning that we can have a good roof over their head. We know it's going to be safe. I already know how to be a landlord, and I can be a good landlord. So I feel like I can contribute to our little community just by being able to keep a safe rental property. And who knows what's going to happen from there. But I would never have been able to do this if I didn't listen to the ad and click the button.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, was there any point in time where you were like doing your research on this and you were like, this is too good to be true. This has got to be a scam. Did you ever feel that at any point?
I necessarily thought it was a scam, but before I purchase anything, I don't care if it's a blender or a car, I'm on looking for reviews, consumer reports. I'm always doing my research ahead of time. I did look at some reviews and videos prior to, and these were just real, everyday, genuine people that just wanted to get out of this, I'll call it debt slavery, because what it is, it's debt slavery. It's what I'll call it the rich would know, but you know, with us as middle class folks, we sometimes don't get the skinny on all those details.
Not at all.
Not at all. So I knew that I just wanted to do my due diligence with regards to what other people have seen, but I never at one time did I think it was a scam. I know there's a lot out there. When I was listening to Michael talk, I didn't feel like he was scammy, or I didn't feel like he was just pitching anything.
No.
He just wanted to share what he discovered and at the same time take care of his family.
Yep.
And go from there.
Yeah, Mike's very genuine. He's exactly like, I've met him in person a few times. He's exactly like you see on the videos. You know, just down to earth. You know, I think he says faith, family, friends, finances. He literally lives by that. So, you know, great guy, great company. I'm glad, you know, I could be a part of it. And, you know, now I think about a month ago, we just started this new affiliate program. So our people in our group, they can share this with their friends and family. And, you know, some people will be good at this enough to where they'll make a living off of it. So.
Right. Absolutely. I did see that. And I was like, okay, wait, I'm just right at the beginning of this. Let me do this first. Let me get this secure. And then it's the next step. And I actually didn't even watch any of the bonus videos about investments and things like that, because I was just so, like I said, I binge watched in 3 hours every video that was listed, took a ton of notes. And I just said, okay, those bonus materials, when I'm ready, which will probably be in the next month or two, then I'll watch those. But when I actually added a friend on Facebook to my, he accepted, it was like a rock star has just like accepted my friendship.
Nice.
As silly as that might sound, but you can tell that he's just truly genuine. So this has just been a vision come true. That's for sure.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate your time today. And then as always, you know, if there's anything that you need from, you know, Replace Your Mortgage, feel free to reach out myself, my support team, or anybody in the Facebook group.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a wonderful process. And thanks so much for taking the opportunity today.
Not a problem. Thank you again for your time.
All right. Have a great weekend.
You too.